This is a letter I wrote to Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And I replied, how could you? We are the people. You're supposed to represent the people of United Kingdom, Boris Johnson, and all the human rights for the people in United Kingdom. Here is the letter I wrote to you, and you never replied to me. I repeat again the letter I wrote. That was written on the 21st of September 2021. The subject, freedom for Julian Assange, is vital for press freedom. Dear Prime Minister Boris Johnson, I write to you and ask, please counteract with concrete actions the illegal and relentless political persecution of Julian Assange by the United States for publishing truthful and factual information. And the people have the right to know. The United States wants at any cost for Mr. Assange to be extradited to the United States, knowing that the United States' extradition case against Mr. Assange has crumbled because Tardanson, the main witness of the United States, the CIA, has admitted to fabricating key accusations in the indictment against Julian Assange. At the beginning of your mandate, Mr. Boris Johnson, as a Prime Minister, you said you will review the U.S. and the United Kingdom extradition treaty. You said, Mr. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, that you will review the United States and United Kingdom, which is biased, you said, was biased in favor of the United States. This foreign policy, further to the Magistrate Court ruling on the 4th of January 21, preventing the extradition of Mr. Assange. The United States, on the ground that extradition will be oppressive by reason of mental harm. As you will know, District Judge Vanessa Baraitza ruled that the U.S. was incapable of preventing Mr. Julian Assange from attempting to take his own life. I share the widespread view that Mr. Assange's prosecution under the U.S. Espionage Act sets a dangerous precedent for the freedom of the press, for our right to know, and criminalize investigative journalism in common with other journalists' practices. He should be protected, Julian Assange, by the European Convention, by the United Kingdom government, by the United Kingdom justice system. And we must have the freedom of speech, the freedom of press, and you, as our Prime Minister, must protect our human rights and the human rights of Julian Assange, which has been grossly violated by the state. He has been psychologically tortured in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. It is therefore deeply worrying that the judge did not find the legal basis for extradition. The US was flawed, and the United Kingdom has been complicit in putting media freedom and freedom of expression on trial. Shame on you, Prime Minister. Shame! Shame on you, Boris Johnson, Prime Minister. There is a clear and compelling requirement for you, Prime Minister, to review the decision to order Mr. Julian Assange not to be extradited to the United States and ensure that he is released with immediate effect. Julian Assange is staying in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. Shame on you, Boris Johnson. You were a journalist before. Where are your principles, Prime Minister Boris Johnson? I also wish to express my deep concern that he has been refused to appeal again. Shame on you. Even Judge Paraitsa's clear warnings about Mrs. Paraitsa, thank you, said his mental health and his physical health has deteriorated badly. It is particularly unacceptable for Julian to remain incarcerated any longer, and the harsh conditions of high security detention, Belmarsh prison. Shame on you, because your laws, your policies are killing our journalist Julian Assange for telling the truth. I further note the views of Amnesty International that Mr. Assange should not have been jailed pending extradition in the first place. The charges against Julian Assange were politically motivated because you, United Kingdom, and United Kingdom judiciary law are obeying the United States administration and the CIA. Shame on you. And the United Kingdom government should never have so willingly assisted the United States in its unrelenting and cruel pursuit of Julian Assange. Bravo, free Julian Assange. As long as do not drop the charges against Mr. Assange, the freedom of the press, our human rights, our civilian rights, civil rights are under threat. Shame on you, Boris Johnson. Shame on you, political leaders that's supposed to represent the people in United Kingdom. The British government must make it clear that never again we allow to extradite a person from our country for revealing facts, for revealing the truth that we all have the right to know. It will make a real difference, legal reform, to make political extradition impossible. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, this is the second time I'm asking you, stop the extradition of Julian Assange. Julian Assange is an innocent journalist, and you know that by fact. The brutal persecution of Julian Assange sets a dangerous precedent to the freedom of the press, the freedom of speech, and our right to know. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, answer to my letter. Don't sleep on my letter. It's very important. You're supposed to represent the British people, but you are obeying orders of the United States administration and the CIA. Shame on you! Shame on you, Boris Johnson, and political leaders. Free Julian Assange now! 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 Thank you.
What do I press?
No, you don't press anything.
Nothing.
You don't press it.
Hi. In this very pitch, Brian Hall stayed here 24/7 for 10 years against the war in Iraq, where you killed 2 million people. You American NATO killed 2 million people in Iraq. And Brian Hall stayed here for 10 years, 24/7. The government and the Labour are war criminals. Tony Blair, war criminal. Gordon Brown, war criminal. David Cameron, a bigger war criminal. A bunch of hypocrites. You go to Ukraine to give charity. What a bunch of hypocrites. David Cameron, you are a war criminal, David Cameron. Wherever you are, we will find you. And Tony Blair. And now this joke, this comedian, Boris Johnson, comedian, the Ukrainian comedian, so-called president, will stay a coup. NATO used a coup in Ukraine. He was a comedian. He was a joker like Boris Johnson. They are war criminals. You wanted to have that joker to put out weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine. Nuclear missiles in Ukraine. Well, how dare you? You proclaim the freedom of expression, yet you don't let Julian Assange free. Your government are a bunch of war criminals and hypocrites and cynics. You will respond to history. Now, die after 10 years here. A bunch of people were helping him, and you, the police and the army, were harassing him almost every day. We never will forget and forgive that. Long life Brian Hall! Remember, you killed 2 million people in Iraq. You bombed Yugoslavia. There you rise to the ground, Belgrade, with chemical weapons. Belgrade. You bombed Somalia. How many people did you kill in Afghanistan? Nearly 1 million people. And you left a total disaster in Afghanistan. People are starving in Afghanistan. Children. People are starving. That's how you left Afghanistan. You, USA and NATO, you're a bunch of hypocrites. Cynical. Libya, the same. You destroy Libya. You destroy the most prosperous country in Africa. Now, Yemen, how many people already you killing, happened to kill with Saudi Arabia? 300,000 people already died in Afghanistan. You are complicit in war crimes. You, the British government, Saudi Arabia. How about the news? The BBC, Sky TV, they're a bunch of hypocrites. They're complicit in war crimes. The mainstream media are complicit in war crimes. They are responsible for murder. Long life Brian Hall. Long life Julian Assange.
Hello helicopter, hello Adam, hello Dad, hello 11, hello Jeremy, hello Gary, hello Michael. I don't think I've missed anyone. I hope everyone's doing well. We are at a Free Julian and Assange protest today, as you can probably gather. And this is finally a live stream I can leave up on my channel. Helicopter, yeah, Tank Man is my dad, and he was in the chat, so. Hello, the ghost.
That's over. Even in Iraq. Free speech is over, mate.
Very cute dog.
Hands off Assange! US, UK! Hands off Assange!
That's quite cute.
That was illegally shipped up from the Bulgarian embassy 3 years ago and has been kept in a high security prison in Belmarsh for releasing information showing the US and its allies are committing in our name. Because of this, he's been kept in isolation and under detention for over 10 years now. So we are here today and we called you to try to know about what
Come, since you're here, make yourself useful and just go around. Sorry? Just go around with this at the same time. Or hold it there. Or go slowly. Well, I want to take photos. It's hard to do. Okay.
Over a decade ago, Julian Assange warned the world that we are the last free people. What he meant was the digital prison that we are now confined to would gradually emerge and trap us all. Photographs wherever you go, pandemics to restrict travel, and to introduce their laws of censorship and lockdown. Wake up, everybody! They arbitrarily detained the journalist Julian Assange 12 years ago. The last 3 years he has spent in solitary confinement in Belmarsh prison. He is a journalist and a publisher. Everything he published was published by the New York Times, the French newspaper Le Monde in Britain, The Guardian. None of those journalists are in jail. Julian Assange had insight into what is happening in the world. Wars to feed the war machine. War crimes which go unpunished. The war criminals at it again, meeting with Nazis to perpetuate wars. They're at it. Priti Patel, twilight visits to American representatives, Israeli government representatives. The war machine conducting the trial of Julian Assange. Lady Arbuthnot, husband, linked to the war machine. It is about endless wars. We need peace, but we need to secure the freedom of Julian Assange. It affects you all. Put your hand in your pocket for every coffee you have to support Ukraine. That is going to the war machine. It is not going to help citizens of Ukraine. Wake up, world. We are the last free people. Your children will be in slavery. Julian Assange warned us of this. Supranational corporations rule our governments. We have to take back power, and we have to free the truth teller, Julian Assange. Free, free, Julian Assange.
Free, free, Julian Assange.
Free, free. Free, free. Write to your MPs, write to Priti Patel, and tell her under no circumstances, no extradition to a hellhole US prison, to a dark trial conducted by the CIA, where 99% of people are convicted. Julian Assange, pulpit truth. He has done nothing wrong. He is our hero. Wake up.
Jesus is the
Support
answer.
truth and freedom.
Jesus set you free. No, we're talking about a spiritual freedom. Freedom from the power of sin. Freedom from the power of sin. This is free. This is not Russia. What are you talking about? I can speak here. Only Jesus Christ can set you free. Only Jesus can set you free. Nobody else can set you free. Jesus is the only. Jesus. We all need to repent. We all need to repent. Assange needs to repent. We all need to repent. Trust in Jesus. Right?
Now, we have had Julian Assange put into solitary confinement now in the UK for 3 years. 3 years since he was illegally removed from the Ecuadorian embassy. And why has he been persecuted and imprisoned for 3 years? It's for exposing the war crimes that have been committed in our name. I'm looking now at the Houses of Parliament in the UK, and these represent the building that homes one of the oldest democracies, so-called democracies, I'm afraid to say, in the world. And you know you've got a problem with that democracy when you have to lock away journalists into solitary confinement for revealing uncomfortable truths about war crimes that have been committed, for illegal wars that have been started through lies. We need to take a long and hard look at ourselves in the UK. We have what is called the free press, which is happy to repeat the lies of people in power and authority, so that we do things like go into Iraq and regime change the country, starting off with a battle that we call shock and awe, that destroys people's lives, destroys people's homes. We then, when David Cameron decided to go into Libya and smash up a country with the highest living standard in all of Africa, all based on lies and oil and resource extraction. We've backed the hideous war, protracted war that's gone on now in Yemen, and we've stirred up endless trouble in Syria as well. We've allowed our allies to renege against the agreement with Iran for them to have peaceful use of nuclear energy. And what we're doing is journalists that are reporting the truth, they're not welcome in the UK. We have a bunch of sycophants in the UK press which simply repeat the lies told by people in authority. We need a strong press that can stand up to these lies. We need organisations such as WikiLeaks, established by Julian Assange. But unfortunately, he's been made an example of, so that other brave journalists won't investigate things and print the truth. He's basically being crucified, kept in solitary confinement until he dies. I don't believe there's any realistic possibility that his court proceedings will ever conclude. I think the whole plan is to drag them on indefinitely until the man dies, so that the UK can shrug its shoulders and say it was just committing some kind of legal process. We can see through that. The sheer length of time, 3 years in solitary confinement. And everybody understands that the extradition treaty that the UK has with the United States of America, it excludes extradition for political prisoners. Now, if putting forward information that is critical to the anti-war movement about the lies used to start the illegal wars, that cannot be said to be apolitical. It's clearly a political act to uncover the lies at the heart of illegal wars. It is not realistic to say that Julian Assange has committed espionage when he's released information that is in the whole public interest. Not just in the UK, not just in Australia, but throughout the entire world. Let's stop this nonsense. Let's stop this ridiculous trial. We have the only witness brought forward in this trial is a man called Sigurdur Thordarson. Sigurdur Thordarson is on the public record in the public press on saying he committed perjury in the trial where Julian Assange was found guilty of hacking, something that Julian Assange has never done. It turns out that he gave this testimony as part of a plea bargain because he himself is actually a dark character who has committed sexual offences, I believe at least against 9 children, at least one of which has committed suicide as a result of Sigurdur Thordson's actions. So when Priti Patel allows this farce to go on, what she's doing, she's making a mockery of British justice. She's making a mockery of the Houses of Parliament. This should be a democracy where we can have pride, national pride in Britain, in being a fair and just nation. But what it's doing, it's humiliating us. Priti Patel is humiliating the British people. She's bringing a dark shadow across British justice. MPs in the British House of Parliament, find your courage! Find your courage and speak up about this! If we do not have a free press that can openly discuss truths without journalists being confined to 3 years solitary confinement, with a promise to send them abroad to the United States to face 175 years in solitary confinement for revealing the truth, then we have no democracy at all. Lift your heads in pride for your nation that you represent and do the decent thing. Demand British justice throws out this fake case. Julian Assange is an essential asset to the world of journalism and to the anti-war movement. We want to live in a free and fair world without war and unnecessary violence. And that is achieved by opening dialogue, honest dialogue. To have honest dialogue, you need the truth to be made public. When you hide the truth, you have to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to hide the truth? Why punish a man for publishing the truth? And the only answer can be is because you want to hide behind lies. I don't want to live in a country with a parliament where people hide behind lies. Let's free Julian Assange. Let's have a fair system of justice in the British court system. And let's move on to a prosperous country based on truth, where we can have true democracy return, where people in power and authority can be accountable for promises that they make. Free Julian Assange! There is only one decision! Free Julian Assange! Thank you very much, everybody.
I have to have a bit of a shout. As long as people can hear. But no one's going to hear you though. Oh no, but yours.
Get on, Elsa! Give him hell! Give him hell, Elsa! They're bastards! Give him hell! They're bastards over there! Put us in line! Google it! Judge for yourself! It's a corrupt sham trial! It's a kangaroo court! Google Thorderson line! Judge for yourself. You'll be a lot more honest than these judges we've got at the moment.
Hi Andy. Hi Jesus, hi Bert. Hi Chris. Hi Ozzy. Hi Jay. Welcome everyone. Hi, Mrs. J.
If Julian Assange is not free, no one of us is free. And no one of you, so-called political leaders, and not your children, you steal the liberty and the freedom of Julian Assange. You are taking our freedoms away. You are killing our journalists in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. Julian Assange must be honored. The real criminals belong in jail. Free Julian Assange. And here I have words from your own government, our so-called political leaders that represent the people in the United Kingdom, but they don't. They just obey orders of the United States and the CIA. This has been shown in the court and in the parliament. Shame on you, so-called government of the United Kingdom. Shame on you. In the United Kingdom, so-called justice, judiciary system. You are a travesty of justice. Shame on you, Prime Minister Boris Johnson. You haven't right to me. You haven't answered to my letter, a very important letter, to save the life of the greatest journalist of our time, Julian Assange. Here we are going to read some revelations. The United Kingdom government campaign to force Julian Assange from the Ecuadorian embassy. You did it by force. Shame on you, United Kingdom, just to obey to the United States administration and to the CIA. 28th of April 2021, Prime Minister Theresa May was told in March 2018 to put pressure on the Ecuadorian president of that time. That man was called Lenín Moreno, and he is a corrupt president of Ecuador. In order to get out of the Ecuadorian embassy in London, Julian Assange, which breaks international law. Later in the year, Theresa May government spent 20,000 to bring Ecuadorian officials and defense minister to United Kingdom. British foreign minister arranged Daily Mail, a hit piece on WikiLeaks publisher days after the eviction of Julian Assange from the embassy. Shame on you. This is a theater. This is a travesty of justice, United Kingdom. Same minister gave Ecuador its president, Lenín Moreno, in those times, a plate from Buckingham Palace as a gift shop to say thank you for handing over Julian Assange. How coward are you? And Lenin Moreno, a corrupt president of Ecuador, sold Julian Assange for $2.5 billion to the World Bank and opened the door to take Julian Assange in the most brutal way out of the embassy, to be taken to the Belmarsh prison. Shame on you, United Kingdom government. Shame on you, United Kingdom so-called justice system. You are a travesty of justice. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, why you haven't answered to my letter? I am a British citizen and I need an answer to my letter. I am defending the life of the greatest journalist of our time, Julian Assange. Here we have a little bit more about the report. It is unusual for foreign ministers to have their trips to the United Kingdom paid by the British government and the people is taxpayers. And the week-long visit came after Prime Minister in those times, Theresa May, had been told to press the so-called president of Ecuador in those years to hand over Julian Assange to the British police. Shame on you, you so-called British police. You are obeying a government which is corrupt. The new information came from United Kingdom Foreign Office documents released to the classified, as well as the recently published diaries of former Foreign Minister so-called Sir Alan Duncan, to put pressure on the government of Ecuador, Lenin Moreno in those times, in order to abduct and to expel Julian Assange from the embassy of Ecuador.
How you doing? Good? I got water if you need.
Our taxpayers in the United Kingdom were spent also to bring officials from Ecuador just to expel Julian Assange from the embassy of Ecuador. British security officials also visit Ecuador in the build-up to Assange is exited from the embassy. Government records show. In July 2018, Philip Barton, then Director General of Security at the Foreign Office, flew to Ecuador for short notice, bilateral meetings with his foreign minister. A week after his return, he traveled to Cheltenham for meeting GCHQ, the United Kingdom's largest intelligence agency government. Travel logs show. Then, 2 weeks before Assange was dragged out of the embassy of Ecuador, that was today, 3 years ago, And on the 27th of March 2019, Britain then Deputy National Security Advisor for Intelligence, Richard Moore, spent 2,000 Free Julian, bravo! Free Julian Assange! The Deputy National Security Advisor for Intelligence, Richard Moore, spent 2,469 pounds on business class flight to Ecuador. He has to prepare to expel Julian Assange from the embassy of Ecuador. You have expended our taxpayers to punish Julian Assange, to kill him in a slow motion in Belmarsh prison. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, do you really represent the British people? Stand up and stop the extradition of Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time, a publisher, a multi-award winning journalist. He has not been convicted with any crime. Show me the crime. Show the evidence. Where are the Julian Assange now!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange now! Can you hear a little bit more? The diaries of Sir Alan Duncan, who led Mr. Assange negotiations to take him out of the embassy of Ecuador. As United Kingdom Minister for the Americas, shed light on the pressure Britain brought to bear on Ecuador after the new government of Lenin Moreno that assumed power in 2017. Free Julian Assange now!
Julian
Free
Assange!
Julian Assange now!
Julian
Julian Assange!
Julian
Free Julian Assange now! Free Julian Assange now! Prime Minister, can you remember the abduction embassy of Ecuador by the British police is called Operation Pelican. Shame on you, government of United Kingdom, shame on you. Duncan announced that Ecuador is going to expel Julian Assange from the embassy, and the British police were ready to drag in the most brutal way Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time. He was dragged, put in a van, and taken to Belmarsh prison, where he is now. He has been psychologically tortured in Belmarsh prison, Julian Assange, for publishing the truth, for publishing the facts on war crimes in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, Palestine, Libya, and many other countries across the world.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Bring on free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
There's only one decision!
No extradition!
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 US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
Free Assange!
No! Free Julian Assange! No! Here we have more information. The United Kingdom Crown Prosecution Service, then headed by Keir Starmer, who now is the leader of the Labour Party, contributed to create illegal and diplomatic proceedings by abusing the United Kingdom judiciary system and breaking the law, which has kept Julian Assange in arbitrary detention since 2010. And finally, free Julian Assange! No! Free Julian Assange! No! Keir Starmer, shame on you! Keir Starmer, shame on you! You said that you respect and value freedom of speech, and you respect and value human rights and the press freedom. You are a corrupt politician! Corrupt politician! You, Keir Starmer, you do not represent the people. You contributed for the now suffering and the killing of the great journalist of our time, Julian Assange. You, Keir Starmer, shame on you! Shame on you, British Patel! Shame on you, Boris Johnson! Shame on you, Alan Duncan! Shame on you! Keir Starmer, that now is the leader of the Labour Party, contributed to create illegal and diplomatic proceedings by abusing the United Kingdom judiciary system and breaking the law, which has kept Julian Assange in arbitrary detention for 23 hours a day since 2010 and finally result in his arrest and his detention in Belmarsh prison in solitary confinement. Julian Assange has published for publishing the truth. Julian Assange, judge, is 40-year good friend of minister who orchestrated his arrest. Lord Chief Justice Ian Burnett, the judge that is taking Julian Assange to be arrested and to be sent to the United States and denying the appeal, arranged the eviction. He's a close friend of the Alan Duncan who prepare and arrange the eviction of Julian Assange from the embassy of Ecuador.
You want, anybody else want to talk here? Don't tie yourself, you know, you've got to take that.
No, I don't do it. I'm sorry.
You want to stop now?
Or? Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange now. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange now. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Alan Duncan served as a foreign minister for Europe and the Americas from 2016 to 2019. He was the key official in the United Kingdom government campaign to force Julian Assange from the embassy of Ecuador. Alan Duncan, shame on you! You are a corrupt government. Alan Duncan, shame on you! You are a corrupt politician. Regardless, Alan Duncan refers to the supposed human rights of Julian Assange. What kind of words are that? Julian Assange deserves to be respected and honored, not punished for telling the truth. He admits to arrange a Daily Mail hit piece on Assange that was published the day after Julian Assange's arrest in April 2019. And today, 3 years since the arrest of Julian Assange. Today, 3 years since the arrest of Julian Assange for publishing the truth.
Well done, bravo, bravo. You've been fantastic.
Duncan, Alan Duncan, shame on you! Alan Duncan, you are a corrupt politician, like Keir Starmer like many others. Shame on you! Alan Duncan watch when United Kingdom police pulling Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks publisher, from the Ecuadorian embassy.
You want to take some water?
No.
No water?
No.
What about some air?
You're committed.
I feel so angry.
Yeah.
Depressed. Yeah, okay, I think I finished because I'm going to get...
Right, I say a little bit, alright? You alright?
Yes, I'm free.
So take a break.
No, I want Julian free because
Yeah.
Here we have the building, which is basically a tourist attraction, posing as an authority, leading the people through the terribly complicated times. But for me, it is a tourist attraction. And just up there, there's another house, number 10. It's another tourist attraction. In 1873, the US military murdered 1.5 million buffaloes. I think they're calling it keeping people safe. So here we have a building, sometimes they call it a court, and it says justice. But I think they've got it wrong because there is no justice. They probably mean just ice. Just ice. So to the tourist attraction over there, I hope you're selling lots of souvenirs with a picture of Boris Johnson, who was served papers for fraud and kidnapping over a year ago by the Common Law Court, which I have evidence of. So when you talk about Prime Minister, that's a very joke. It sounds like a spitting image sketch from the old days. So at the moment, Julian Assange is showing you all up. Showing you all up. And what about these people in the court with connections to the weapons and war industry? Oh dear. Oh dear. People who wear wigs and black clothing have connections to the weapon industry. I wonder why. I wonder why. So with the Americans' accomplishment, the military I mean, I don't mean the people, in 1873 they murdered one. So this is keeping people safe. Then you have Agent Orange sprayed on Vietnam, which was originally a defoliant to drop all the leaves from the trees. The children are still being born with no arms and legs. We're just going over there to keep them safe. Well, we know your game. So the question is, you've had loads of chances to bow out gracefully. We have been up and down Oxford Street, we have been to Trafalgar Square, we have been to Hyde Park. I myself have even ran out inside of 6 horses who are going to drive the horses into the people. I remember being at Trafalgar Square when the so-called people who keep people safe had trenchant a man and his head was bleeding as he came out of the crowd. So we know what your keeping people safe is all about. But your time is up, and on my card, Apache helicopter. It's a murder weapon. It should have been impounded 10 or 11 years ago. The collateral murder video, which Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden gave to you, was the evidence. So don't insult us by talking about justice. It's money, 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 money. Who cares? Who cares? Get a good war going, yeah? Right. Well, everyone's warned you.
The people are not satisfied. We're not going to be violent, but you're finished. You only have a copy and paste failed stream media who put their cameras up, but never, ever, ever, ever tell the truth to the people. So, from my point of view, they are the failed street media. I'll give you that again. They are the failed street media. So would you like just ice with that? Would you like just ice with that? Thank you, everybody. And Julian Assange is the hero of our time. Thank you.
George, where are you? He said he wants to talk. Free Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time, a publisher, a multi-award winning journalist, has been brutally persecuted by the state for publishing truthful and factual information on United States, United Kingdom, and allied war crimes in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Yemen, in Libya, in Palestine, and many other countries across the world. Free Julian Assange now! 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 George!
Hello, Mans, and take care, Rebel. Hello, WK.
George!
Hope everyone's well.
George!
I'm going to set the bar a bit low if anyone else wants to come up and have a rant at these bastards over there.
I'd like to have a rant.
Those bastards over there. Sorry. Right. That's United out of the window.
Julian Assange now! Free Julian Assange now!
Hang on, you ready to go?
No, but look at these people. They
I know.
are peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, could I have your attention, please? I've come here today dressed as the Grim Reaper to officially announce, let that bus go by, to officially announce that British justice is dead. This case is not complicated, it's really very simple. Julian Assange is a journalist who set up WikiLeaks to expose the bad things being done by bad people around the world. Thank you for your support, London Ambulance Service, we appreciate it. It's good that those bad things are exposed, as it means that good people like us all here today, and not like those people in power over there, it means that the good people stand some chance of stopping those bad people. WikiLeaks and everything that Julian did is all perfectly legal, but it made him some very powerful enemies. In particular, the United States government. So they bribed, yes, the United States government bribed a person called Thorderson to lie by saying that Julian got him to hack, and hacking is illegal. However, Thordarson has now admitted that he lied, and Julian did absolutely nothing illegal or wrong. So there's now absolutely no case for Julian's extradition. Furthermore, the reason why Thordarson lied against Julian was because the United States said they would give him immunity from prosecution for his own crimes. These include sex with 15 underage boys, as well as large-scale financial fraud and embezzlement. In summary, this case is not complicated. Thordarson is the only witness against Julian, and he's now admitted that he was bribed by the United States government to lie against Julian. The case against Julian is absolutely baseless. It's as simple as that. So it's an absolutely disgusting sham of so-called justice going on in our sordid little British kangaroo court. British justice will stand for nothing around the world if the courts don't immediately free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! There you go, open mic if anyone wants to have a go.
Yeah.
Wait till the bus goes.
I'll have a go.
Right, now the bus has gone. Look, it's a sham going through this courts at the moment. Just judge for yourself. Google Thordarson lied. You'll see the case is completely baseless. It's an absolute sham, and it's happening with the knowledge of all those people in power over there who should be utterly ashamed of yourselves. Thank you. Just press the button.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! We are here today to demand the freedom of Julian Assange.
Yes!
Julian Assange is a courageous and principled journalist who, through WikiLeaks, has exposed heinous US and UK war crimes, as well as rampant corruption. And I'm going to quote from Chris Hedges, award-winning journalist. Julian Assange exposed the truth. He exposed it over and over again and over until there was no question of the endemic illegality, corruption that defines the global ruling elite. And for these truths, they came after Julian. As they have everyone who has sought to rip back the veil on power. And to quote Julian
It might be too far away from it, you might actually have to put it to his mouth.
Okay, stop better.
Yeah.
Sorry. And to quote Julian Assange himself, it's very simple. People have a right to know and a right to question and challenge power. That's true democracy. Why are you MPs not standing up for truth, democracy, freedom of speech and freedom of the press? Shame, shame on you. Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange.
Free Julian Assange!
US UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange! Well done, well done, well done, give that man a round of applause, everybody! Excellent! Well done. By the way, it's a show trial. Just Google Thorderson lied and judge for yourself. That's their main witness. Thorderson lied. It's a complete sham, that show trial. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm fine.
Julian Starmer, the bogus leader of the Labour Party, he is the one who prosecute Julian Assange. Shame on you, Ian Starmer. You are a bogus leader of the imperialist Labour Party. The murderous Labour Party are a bogus party. Shame on you, Ian Starmer. Shame on you, Ian Starmer. You are a bogus leader of the imperialist Labour Party. Here in this very ground, Brian Hall protested for 10 years, 24/7. For 10 years, Brian Hall lived here in this very ground, 24/7. He protests against the Iraq war, where you criminals killed 2 million Iraqis. Shame on you, British government! Shame on you, bloody murderous criminal Tony Blair! Shame on you, David Cameron! Shame on you, clown! Free! 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 Julian Assange! No! 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 Shame on you, British government. You are a bunch of hypocrites.
Well said.
Bravo, bravo, bravo. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Free Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time, a publisher, a multi-award winning journalist, is in Belmarsh prison for publishing truthful and factual information on United States, United Kingdom and allies, war crimes in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Yemen, in Palestine, in Libya, and many other countries across the world. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Stop the torture of Julian Assange. Stop the torture of Julian Assange. Stop the psychological torture of Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time. Julian Assange has died in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth, for bringing us the facts. Shame on you, United Kingdom government. Shame on you, United Kingdom so-called justice system. Shame on you. You just obey orders of the United States and the CIA. Shame on you. It cannot be the case that the United States administration and the CIA can say what can and cannot be published in United Kingdom. Shame on you, United Kingdom. Respect our own sovereignty. Shame on you, United Kingdom. Boris Johnson, where is the answer to my letter? The letter that I am asking you to protect the life of Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time. Boris Johnson, where is the answer to my letter in which I ask protect the life of Julian Assange, the greatest journalist of our time? Shame on you, United Kingdom government. Shame on you, United Kingdom so-called justice system.
ما اینجا بر پروتست آمدیم که اشتکای بسیار زیر سن افغانی که در ایران تحت ایرانیا تحت رهبری ایرانیا خمینی میکشند. خمینی در قصهش نیست که خمینی میخواهد که بعدا نسل کشی افغانایی که مهاجر هستند در ایران میکشیشان ارستشان کرده در بسیار جای بسیار کرده. مگر Britain, shame on you. You have to stand up for Afghani people like you. Afghani people have got very, very bad situation in Iran. They have to stand up for the Afghani people which they are standing in Iran. They are very, very in bad situation, please. They are standing in a refugee camp with very, very bad conditions. They didn't have nothing, but they are young kids which were 12 years old has been killed with no reason. They kill them with the punches in the nose. They are sacrificed they're very bad in a bad situation at the moment. Shame on you, shame on everyone that doesn't care about the young generation.
You are from Iraq? Are you from Iraq? Afghanistan. Beautiful. We support the people in Afghanistan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Free Julian Assange now. Julian Assange is dying in Belmarsh prison. Julian Assange has been psychologically tortured in Belmarsh prison. And the United Kingdom government is doing nothing just to comply, to obey with the orders of the United States administration and the CIA. This is shameful of you, United Kingdom. You're supposed to respect our own sovereignty, but you are becoming a colony of the United States. Wherever the United States tells you to do it, you are doing it, even to kill innocent people. Shame on you, United Kingdom. Stand up on your own feet. United Kingdom, respect our own sovereignty. Stand up on your own feet. Respect human rights. Respect international law. We are not living in the jungle. We are living in the 21st century. Shame on you, United Kingdom government. Shame on you, United Kingdom so-called justice system. You are a travesty of justice.
I like it.
Say it. Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange!
Now!
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange!
Now!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Now!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Now!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
Today marks the 3rd anniversary of Julian Assange's detention in Belmarsh maximum security prison, where he is held in isolation for telling the public the truth. Shame on our government, shame on our justice system, and shame on our politicians for allowing this to happen. Julian Assange is already suffering in isolation, a psychological torture. As John Pilger said, the times we live in are so dangerous and so distorted in public perception that propaganda is no longer an invisible government. It is the government. It rules directly without fear of contradiction. And its principal aim is to conquest of us, our sense of the world, our ability to separate truth from lies. WikiLeaks exposed the machinations and strategy of such invisible government, informing, educating the public. The secrets of such governments spilled through the web pages of wikileaks.org. More than any other government, the secrets of the US government, the mightiest military power the world has ever seen, a military that has brought death and destruction to the civilian population of Hiroshima and Nagasaki without ever facing any consequences, and has continued ever since to expand their military capability to the point where they could bring about the destruction of the whole planet with their nuclear arsenal. The US democracy, flawed to the point of hardly being recognized as such, has failed to challenge the ingenuity of its people to peaceful works, but filled the pages of its history with suffering of others, whilst at the same time presenting to the world a Hollywood-style fantasy of exceptionalism. The land of dreams and benevolent power. WikiLeaks publications shatter this dream, and the ability to endlessly propagandize, lie and manipulate domestic and global populations, and controlling their elected leaders to fall in line with the US plans for global domination. WikiLeaks exposed their strategies on how they plan for war, for example in the Ukraine, and how they conduct a war, for example in Iraq and Afghanistan. A diplomatic cable which was sent in 2009 by US Ambassador to Russia William J. Burns stated in part, NATO enlargement, particularly to the Ukraine, remains an emotional neuralgic issue for Russia, but the strategic policy considerations also underlie strong opposition to NATO membership for Ukraine and Georgia. In Ukraine, these include fears that the issue could potentially split the country in two, leading to violence or even some claim civil war, which would force Russia to decide whether to intervene.
Additionally, the GOR and experts continue to claim that Ukrainian NATO membership will have a major impact on Russia's defense industry. Russian-Ukrainian balance and bilateral relations.
Okay.
I don't know what they were doing. Haven't they got something better to do?
Probably not, to be fair.
Oh, bastards, sorry.
No, it's okay. Mum already came as well, so.
Let's scream up on blue lights.
Yeah.
Let's scream up on blue lights. I don't know, I think somebody dropped some litter or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. Something really petty.
I know. Are you not Resistance GB?
I'm citizenship.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
During his annual review of Russia's foreign policy, June 22nd, 23rd, Foreign Minister Lavrov stressed that Russia had to view continued eastward expansion of NATO, particularly to Ukraine and Georgia, as a potential military threat. While Russia might believe statements from the West that NATO was not directed against Russia, when one looked at recent military activities in NATO countries, establishment of US forward operation locations, etc., they had to be evaluated not by stated intentions but by potential. While Russian opposition to the first round of NATO enlargement in the mid-1990s was strong, Russia now feels itself able to respond more forcefully to what it perceives as actions contrary to its national interests.
Damn, I'm struggling.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Free Julian Assange! Julian Assange is the greatest journalist of our time, currently held in Belmarsh maximum security prison. His only crime has been to tell the world the truth, and that is what we need, truth. And this government in front of us is silencing the truth. It holds the greatest journalist of our time in solitary confinement. Today he completes 3 years. Is this a country you want to live in? Shame on our government. Shame on our court system. Shame on our politicians for their complicitness. You are all part of this.
I've probably done enough of it. Yeah, it was quite small now. It wasn't flowing. But
Stop the torture of Julian Assange in Belmarsh prison. Stop the torture of Julian Assange in Belmarsh prison. Telling the truth is not a crime. Telling the truth is not a crime. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth.
Yeah, I was going to say she was kind of a Rebel word.
They're just down that high path, what would happen.
assurances that he would not be subjected to cruel prison regime of special administrative measures. The US has previously broken such assurances, and Amnesty International has said that should the UK extradite Julian Assange in reliance of such an agreement with the USA, it would violate a peremptory norm of international law, the absolute ban on torture, its international human rights treaty obligations, and its own law. From 2010, Julian Assange and WikiLeaks published millions of secret leaked US government documents revealing human rights violations, including war crimes in Iraq and Afghanistan, the murder of civilians, torture, rendition and death squads. As a result, he has been relentlessly persecuted. He has been isolated in Belmarsh maximum security prison, now for 3 years, awaiting a decision on extradition to the USA on espionage charges which solely relate to the publication of these leaks. These carry a prison term of 175 years. This is an unprecedented attack on a journalist and publisher. The decision to allow his extradition to the US puts both his life and the freedom of press in peril. He has already suffered 11 years of loss of liberty and arbitrary detention. UN Rapporteur on Torture Nils Melzer found that Assange has been subjected to psychological torture and unprecedented state persecution in violation of his fundamental human rights. His mental and physical health has seriously deteriorated as a result. He suffered a mini stroke during recent court proceedings. His legal rights have been flagrantly attacked, including the bugging and surveillance by US intelligence in the Ecuadorian embassy, where his lawyers' meetings were recorded and filmed. A September 2021 Yahoo News investigation, which interviewed 30 former and serving US government and intelligence insiders, revealed that the US government CIA had sketched plans to kidnap Julian from the London Ecuadorian embassy, where he had been granted asylum, to render him to the USA and even to assassinate him. A large coalition of international press freedom organizations led by American Civil Liberties Union has said that the criminal case against him poses a grave threat to press freedom, both in the United States and abroad. The proceedings against Mr. Assange jeopardize journalism that is crucial to democracy. In our view, a precedent created by prosecuting Assange could be used against any publishers and journalists alike, chilling their work and undermining freedom of the speech, freedom of the press. Media unions such as the National Union of Journalists and the International Federation of Journalists have demanded that the charges be dropped and Assange be released. Free Julian Assange!
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 Free Julian Assange! Now!
May these politicians who hide in the White House come down and talk to us now. We have all the time to educate you. What you are doing is wrong. It's against democracy. Silencing a journalist is never right. Torturing anyone is never right. You are doing both crimes now in the centre of London. Shame on you all.
Shame on
Come out of
you.
your comfort in the in the Houses of Parliament and talk to us. Shame on you!
Shame on
Shame on you!
Shame on
Shame on you!
Shame on you!
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on the Houses of Parliament and our political system! Shame on our judges, our court system! Shame on everything you're doing to Julian Assange and the silencing of the truth, the silencing of journalism. This needs to stop. Truth is freedom. Julian Assange is our freedom. Free Assange!
Free Assange!
Free
Now!
Assange!
Free Assange!
Free
Now!
Assange!
Free Assange! Now!
Free Assange!
Free Assange! Now!
Free Assange!
Free Assange! Now!
Free Julian Assange!
Free Julian Assange! Now!
Jail the war criminals!
Free Julian Assange!
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 US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
US! UK!
Hands off Assange!
The UK imprisons journalists!
Shame on you!
The UK imprisons journalists!
Shame on you!
WikiLeaks has a 100% accuracy for telling us the truth. And for that reason, Julian Assange is imprisoned in a UK maximum security prison, where today he completes 3 years in solitary confinement. And these politicians say they believe in democracy. They are liars! Shame on them all!
Imprisonment of the truth. What is it about? Yes, it's very good. Imprisonment of telling the truth. And it's still happening today. As we speak, it's still happening today. So tell them.
Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Julian Assange has died in a Belmont prison for publishing the truth.
Yes,
Oh, I haven't actually.
Free Julian Assange now. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange now. Sorry, man.
No, it's okay, sorry.
Julian Assange is in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. We need the truth. We demand transparency. Free Julian Assange now. Free Julian Assange now. The freedom of Julian Assange is our freedom. We stand up for Julian Assange. Julian Assange's life is at great risk, and the United Kingdom government and the United Kingdom justice system are contributing to the torture of Julian Assange in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. Free Julian Assange! Free the truth! Free Julian Assange! Free the truth! Telling the truth is not a crime. Julian Assange is the greatest journalist of our time, a publisher, a multi-award winning journalist. Julian Assange has been brutally persecuted by the state for publishing truthful and factual information on United States, United Kingdom, and allied war crimes in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Syria, in Yemen, in Palestine, in Libya, and many other countries across the world. Telling the truth is not a crime. Free Julian Assange. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Julian Assange has been psychologically tortured in Belmarsh prison for publishing the truth. Free Julian Assange now, before it's too late. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. Free Julian Assange. Free the truth. We don't like to live in the darkest tunnel of lies and deception. We demand the truth and transparency. Free Julian Assange now.
If you want to know the story of why we are here, it is because an Australian journalist named Julian Assange, who invented Secure Dropbox, something we all use and you may use to send your CVs off when you apply for a job or to get into university. Your documents will be on Secure Dropbox. That was used for whistleblowers, people in government, bureaucracy, in corporations, to expose, to drop in the lies and the corruption that the governments were getting up to, and Julian published these things. A lot of them were war crimes. The war crimes of the United States in Afghanistan and in other theaters of war that US aggression started. Look up WikiLeaks. You can search, you can do an amazing assignment for school to open the world's eyes to the corruption of the state and the UK government, which has held him captive, a journalist in a prison for 3 years, captive of the UK state, because the US evil empire and the CIA, who plotted to murder, kidnap him, they're doing the deeds of the US. They will send him to the United States to serve 175 years in prison. A journalist in jail for telling the truth, sent to the United States to serve 175 years in prison. You can do an assignment on freedom of the press and use Julian Assange as a reference. Free Julian Assange.
Julian Assange now.
Oh, that's food.
What food? Do you want to get you some food?
I've got nuts in my bag.
My daughter, yeah.
Hello. I'm good, how are you?
So what's that on Telegram?
Well, pretty much everything.
So you're like an indie media journalist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sid?
Yeah.
Unusual thing.
Thank
Reminds me of Sid Casually. He was the frontman of Pink Floyd.
Oh, right. What do you want? Do you want to go to Tesco's? Oh, you got nuts?
I've got nuts.
So that's Insta, YouTube. What's that? Oh, that's Telegram, is it?
Yeah.
Paperweight.
Yeah, that's
That's what, yeah, so I wonder. I was going to like sort of use it mostly Telegram, but you can't use Telegram. Like, you have to have a phone
Just
number,
having
right?
something.
So on Telegram. So as soon as you have a phone number, then even if you have like a pay-as-you-go sim or whatever, when there's only one company that you get a pay-as-you-go, but you don't have to register. I'm not even going to say who it is. But actually, no, yeah, there's two. There's one company that's just cute worst, and it's free, and then it's the worst, the absolute worst, never again. The worst, free, just the worst. Yeah, absolutely the worst. You can't even talk about it, so I'll start going off on them. And then there's one other thing. But other than that, like generally people, they're registered, right, on their phones. You know, one way or another, they're registered through the bill pay. But even if you're not, as Julian, as Ed Snowden showed the world through WikiLeaks, it's all CIA data mining. So you've got your fingerprint, you've got your iris, you've got your facial recognition, you've got your voice recording, you've got your fucking GPS. So they've got your identity. So the whole thing about, oh, Telegram, we're not centralised, it's like, and then someone was telling me, who was actually trying to get me to look at the Telegram page, and started doing this passive aggressive witchcraft. Like, I think you're angry at them, and I've got like zero patience for it. Zero. I know we live in a matriarchal society. Anyone with a vagina knows we live in a matriarchal society. Alright, and I ain't playing the fucking game. If I'm playing the game, I'm a billionaire. I kid you not. I'm deadly serious. I have the skills to not even need to pay bills. Okay? So, like, I'm not playing. So as soon as people start coming with the rhetorical devices and the passive aggressive questions and they're telling me this and waving their hands about, I have to tell them straight, look, don't play that shit with me, man, because it's guys like me that unmasked you back in the day. So it's a matter of time till you start getting fucking crosses again. So don't fuck. I'll just go deep like that. Deep. Yeah, you want to upset me? Upset me.
Yeah,
oh, I don't give a fuck. I'm past the point of caring. I mean, I told you what I told you before, didn't I? I'm not going to mention them again. Cute dog, I knew you were going to come harass me or something. Because you've got to tell me to these ladies. Why do girls love dogs so much?
I have friends who hate them and have like cats.
Yeah, that's, yeah. I mean, who likes cats?
I know.
Cats are,
Dogs are all.
cats are awesome.
Yeah.
But they're also like, you know, shit about their attitude.
Yeah, they are very unpredictable.
I heard it said when I was about 21 from a far older wiser man, probably still a younger wiser older man. Hey baby, how are you? He bets me now, if dead. He said, men are like dogs, women are like cats. The more I thought about it, the more I thought, yeah, because, you know, cats are, I'd say they're awesome. You know, they're far better presented, they're far more presentable, they're far more sort of particular. Clean. Tidy. Definitely smarter. A lot of people get smart and cute and intelligent and a different thing. You know? Yeah, I mean, dogs might be more intelligent than cats, but cats are definitely a lot smarter. Cats know how to get what they want, the way they want it, when they want it. Oh, yeah, I had a cat first when I was little. I didn't have a cat because I never had a living creature, you know, but I looked after that cat more than anyone else. And I was the only being with that didn't have a vagina, actually, a cat with any interest in that completely sexist cat. Taken after my mother, I guess. And, but really likes me for some reason. No one else. It was male. Even my stepfather was cat, it was supposed to be. But yeah, this was getting fed from about 6 or 7 ounces on any given day. Huge cat. Huge. I've seen it fuck up a proper. Honestly.
She's got a chihuahua and it went chasing after a cat and became safe from the cat crying.
Yeah, I mean, I would back a cat against a chihuahua.
He thinks he's it until he gets scratched. Yeah. What?
That's it wrong.
So whereabouts in your folk you from?
Norwich. Just outside Norwich.
Could have guessed.
Yeah.
Don't like to assume.
No, city girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're a city girl and you're from Norfolk, then you'd have to be from
Yeah. It's alright, it's quiet. Don't know what goes on in Norwich.
I've got the impression it's kind of not take, not quiet, but almost everyone knows everyone.
No, as it used to be, but not so much now. We don't have a Londoners right now by their holiday homes and just live in it.
Really?
6 months a year, yeah.
Why a holiday home in Norwich?
Yeah, up Norfolk, yeah.
Right, I'm going to say if it's like Lowestoft or something.
No, other broads and that way.
I'd say it sounds like them selling manuals for juice. I'm going to go on holiday to Norwich.
Pleasant place, really.
There used to be a little bit of grey soda in there a few years ago.
My husband did that. He was sparkling.
Not
A bit old now as well, yeah. It's now, but not then.
Now it's your sort of.
Yeah, I'm
You're
old now.
It doesn't make any sense. I've seen people that would make you look decidedly young.
Oh, is that right?
May I join you for 5 minutes? Sorry to interrupt you, but I've just had this idea. And the idea.
Just so you're
I'm streaming, so
Right, so the
if it's going to be bad.
is that on the 20th, you do your thing, but you get like 20 people sitting down from you. Like taster sessions, if they're serious about it, they can.
Not me.
You're doing
Oh, but people
so
want to do
training.
it. Yeah.
So you get more people interested in doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to do that.
So basically you do what you do, but to find out what people who are serious about live streaming, send us a name that you can watch her and take notes, and she will talk to you later or whatever, and you can do a workshop or something like that, and then it just kind of makes a buzz.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
What are you doing? You're going?
I think it's on the levels of 9 days, but it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
over
to
there.
have that situation. My idea is that basically you have people together, and they occupy so much space, they could be doing videos now,
Yeah.
but they're training, and they're under your wings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
So the best is a taste of this is a very important situation, and they could get some background and things like that. Just one to other people, so if you look, you're in Norfolk, you're reaching out here, some other people might be doing other towns and things.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
I'm interested to take a picture of all your equipment.
If you want to. It's quite expensive equipment.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you
so.
can
Yeah, I do.
Is it just mobile and stream and
It's
how do you
GoPro.
use this one?
So this is live streaming. I've actually
Okay.
just realised I took it on.
Just for light, yeah?
This one's live streaming, and this one is just for footage afterwards, because sometimes I have to delete the live stream. So if I
Live
delete
screen.
the live stream, then I'll use the GoPro footage.
That for light or something?
This is just for extra use, just an extra camera.
Okay.
Not even nearly as a matter of fact, I need to go back to Wiltshire and try and get them with my belongings because I've got some pseudo-Christian people, and so we're gonna send my stuff or sell it to fucking Ukraine.
Alright.
Yeah, nice, right?
And this one is battery, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's battery to belong to your mobile.
Yeah.
And which kind of
My life is like
network you use?
I'm using EE.
Huh?
EE.
Okay. And so you put it in Facebook or YouTube or what?
I have a card actually, but I have it's just a YouTube channel that I stream to.
Okay.
But then all my socials are on this card.
Thank you.
So that's where I usually post to. But that's my channel.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Hi.
Hello.
Do you
Voila.
Is there like international news that's picking this up, or is this just like?
This is independent. I'm an independent journalist.
I see. Okay.
Should have put card number.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I say bye.
Yes, brother. Thank you for
Are
coming
you
down here.
linked with
I
WikiLeaks or
appreciate it, mate.
just
Well, because obviously I'm a journalist, this is very big for it, so.
I do my best.
Thank
they're
you.
going to be down here more obviously next week or so. I don't know if you know anything about
I'll just wrap it up.
and then you can have a coffee.
So I'm going to end the stream. Thank you, everyone. I think we might head over to XR,
Okay.
maybe. So if I do, I'll see you on the next live stream. Thank you, everyone. Bye.